she comes from the Guilford Technical Community College Studio of Dental Hygiene with sterilization's most exciting 15 minutes of instructions. It's time to clean!
We begin this fabulous show in our contaminated operatory room. Notice Miss Enamel White is wearing her fashionable personal protective equipment, otherwise known as her operatory gown, utility gloves, face mask, and protective eyewear. First, place your instruments in the cassette in their proper order. Securely close the cassette and place any loose instruments on top. Wrap it back in its blue paper and carefully transport it to the sterilization room. Now the real fun begins. Our first set of lucky instruments get to spend time in a luxurious instrument washer. They'll come out much more relaxed and containing less biofilm than ever. First, place the plug into the drain. Then, place your cassette on its side in the instrument washer. Any loose instruments should go into the basket. Slide the rack back in and close the washer door. Discard the contaminated blue paper into an appropriate waste receptacle. Hit the power button and wait. You should be able to hear the machine working, which means that the water is being heated up while the tub is filling. The tub will stop, and you will now press the start button to begin a 3-minute cycle. When the cycle has finished, pull your cassette and loose instruments out and dry them on a towel. Next, you will clean your utility gloves, perform hand hygiene, and switch to exam gloves.
This is what I'm wrapping.
Our second giveaway is a tight cassette wrap. Lay the cassette on top of the blue wrapping paper and place the mechanical indicator inside of it. Wrap it like an envelope. Try to use about 3 pieces of tape to secure it. Make sure that all sides are tightly wrapped and there's no exposure. Then use a dirty marker to write your initials and today's date on it. The next step in instrument sterilization is a replenishing steam bath. These instruments will feel germ-free after a nice heated stay in the autoclave. Place the cassette into the autoclave. Check the water level. Close the door and press the PAX button. And then press start. Load Statum cassette loosely. Do not overload. Close cassette lid until you hear a slight snap. Hold the cassette handle in one hand and carry the handle in the other. Place the end of the cassette into the unit and drop the carry handle into the closed position. Gently push the cassette until you hear a click. Check the water reservoir for adequate levels of distilled water. Select the appropriate cycle, wrapped or unwrapped. Press start. The sterilizing cycle ends when the reminder tone sounds, the amber light flashes, and the message cycle complete is displayed. The 60-minute drying cycle may be interrupted any time during the cycle. To ensure that wrapped instruments are dry, allow the cycle to run to the end. To remove the cassette, press the stop button on the keypad. Be careful. Metal parts will be hot and the cassette will be containing hot steam. After the cassette is removed, it should be propped open to hasten drying. Finally, our last machine to demonstrate here on Time to Clean is the Lisa. This is a machine used only for hand pieces and burrs. You place the pouch in paper side up. Here you'll see where to add water and where to drain water. The wastewater will flow to a waste bucket. Turn on the machine and follow the directions on the screen. Once you have completed all instrument sterilization, it's time to check how well your machines are working. Biological monitoring is done once a week. To check the autoclave, Statum, and Lisa, you will plug in an incubator and make sure the light is green. You will need 4 spore vials, which you will mark A for autoclave and the date, L for Lisa and the date, S for Statum and the date, and C for control and the date. Place each appropriate vial in a paper seal patch and write it at the front of the load in each machine. The control is not run. After the vials have been through their cycles, crush it by placing the vial in the crusher with the head out. Place the crushed vials and the control vial into the incubator and incubate them for 24 hours. A positive result will be yellow after incubation, and a negative result will be purple after incubation. Be sure to make detailed records in the record-keeping book. This should include the time, date, and final results. After you record your results, you should dispose of the vials in an appropriate sharps container. Sterilization lesson. We're always glad to have an attentive audience on Time to Clean. But before we go, you should know how to wrap up your cleaning. At the end of each clinic session, be sure to pull the plug from the drain instrument washer and leave it in the rack. You must also turn it off by pressing and holding the drain water. You should hear the swoosh. Leave the door open for the washer to dry out. That's all for today. Tune in next time for more helpful cleaning skills on
It's Time to Clean!